I'm starting to wonder if developers out there are letting Sweet Baby Inc. know that they don't want to work with them. They don't want to be associated with them. And as I covered in a previous video, how employees of Sweet Baby Inc. and former employees of Sweet Baby Inc. are having trouble finding work in the game industry because developers don't want to hire them. And with today's update to the Sweet Baby Inc. website, Square Enix has been removed as one of their clients, which might not seem like the biggest deal at first until you dive deeper into the situation. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT. Before we all go and celebrate this gigantic victory for gamers, take a big step back, because Square Enix is still really heavy in the DEI stuff, and I'm concerned that they're just more moving it internally to their DEI teams. But still, this is a step in potentially the right direction. Hit that subscribe, give me a like, and check out smashjt.com for the full article breaking down how Square Enix is no longer a client of Sweet Baby Inc. Square Enix is one of the most notable giants in the gaming industry, and my how the mighty giants have fallen these days. Square Enix, as I've reported multiple times, has fallen on hard times and have lost quite a bit of revenue over the past few years. And they may be removing themselves from Sweet Baby Inc.'s list of companies because they don't have the kind of money they used to where they could just blow it and sustain the hit. Nowadays, Square Enix needs to ensure they do everything possible for their games to be successful. Almost like the whole Sweet Baby Inc. DEI push agenda wasn't worth it for these people. This move signals a massive shift in perceived dynamics of consultancy companies. It indicates that major publishers out there might not want to collaborate with consultancy groups like they used to. And for those that aren't familiar with Sweet Baby Inc., first off, where you been? I've been talking about them for a lot on my channel these days, but they're a consultancy firm that has garnered a controversial reputation within the gaming industry for their influence on game development and narrative design. And you know, that whole take them out to coffee and terrify them, you know, the whole extortion angle that they take where we will cancel you if you don't hire us. They used to work with them, but these days, not so much anymore. But as I said, don't get too excited just yet, because as I covered previously, the Dragon Quest HD 2D remake is being heavily censored with Akira Toriyama's artwork and a lot of other things Square Enix has done internally as well. So just because they are no longer listed on Sweet Baby Inc. does not absolve them of the whole DEI stench that gets stuck on companies. They're going to need to prove it themselves that they're not going this direction anymore. And based off what I saw with Dragon Quest, I'm not really holding my breath on it. Currently on Square Enix website, it states diversity, equity, and inclusion. The Square Enix Group believes in the importance of fostering diverse and inclusive workspaces across the many rich facets of the human experience, including nationality, race, religion, thought, that's a big one, and creed, age, gender, sexual orientation, and physical condition. All of our locations work to increase representation and promote diversity, equity, and inclusion across such areas as recruiting, training, team building, and employee activities. We are encouraged by the progress we've seen through the years in the areas of diversity, equity, and inclusion, and continue to prioritize our work in this area. That is live as of today. Just check their website. It says that right now. So like I said, just because they're removed from the Sweet Baby Inc. website doesn't mean that Square Enix is all of a sudden going to focus on making games great again, because they still have a very heavy focus of DEI internally. They go on to talk about general principles of ethics, compliance, respect for human rights, and diversity. And honestly, this is fair. I think a lot of companies should have boilerplate stuff. I'm not going to dive too deep into this, but it is a little bit concerning that they keep mentioning the whole diversity, inclusion, equity thing over and over again, almost like they know BlackRock and Vanguard are looking over their shoulder wondering, well, you still got that DEI there, right? Because might be considering investing or not investing with you, so let's make sure those words keep showing up there. But it still is a move in the right direction. The removal of Square Enix from SBI's client list spells some serious trouble for Sweet Baby Inc. In a highly unnecessary yet extremely competitive consultancy landscape, losing a marquee client like Square Enix could have wide-reaching implications for all of them. It's not just a loss of business, it's also a dent to SBI's reputation, especially in the AAA gaming sector. And I want everyone to keep in mind as well that if Sweet Baby Inc. does show up in the end credits of a Square Enix game moving forward, it could just be because Sweet Baby Inc. had worked with Square Enix in the past and development timelines are pretty long these days, so it might be a while before we actually see any removal of mention of Sweet Baby Inc. in Square Enix moving forward. But you don't accidentally get removed from Sweet Baby Inc.'s website. This took communication on Square Enix's part to proactively get themselves removed from that list. Think about that for a second. Remember how we recently learned that many developers wanted absolutely nothing to do with Sweet Baby Inc. at all? And now, just a few days later, we see Square Enix being removed from the list of our clients proactively. It's interesting and curious putting the pieces together here. Sweet Baby Inc. would love to have Square Enix listed there. That is a massive property for them to say, look, everyone, Square Enix, a behemoth in the game industry, works with us. And Square Enix is like, yeah, we don't want people to know that we've ever worked with you, so please remove our name from your website. That is a huge hit. Many people I've been chatting with are speculating that Square Enix's decision could be attributed to the toxic reputation that Sweet Baby Inc. has developed over the years. By removing their name from public associations, Square Enix is attempting to sidestep any potential PR fallout that could affect their upcoming titles. And pairing that with how Square Enix already has their whole internal DEI teams already, it's kind of redundant to say we're working with an external ethics committee as well. But the biggest takeaway from all of this is seeing a massive name come down from the Sweet Baby Inc. website and what it means for the rest of the companies listed there. I can't help but think it's not a very good position to be in to be listed on the Our Client section of their website. And this could potentially serve to be a sort of domino effect moving forward where Square Enix backs out, other companies see what's happening with Sweet Baby Inc. and the negative factors imposing on the games that they're working on, and they say, you know what? We don't want anything to do with this. We just want to do our own thing, and, you know, thanks. We thought it might work out a few years ago. This was all in vogue and popular, and yeah, with the times, we won't get canceled. We'll all work together. We'll pay you some money. You give us some quote-unquote tips on how to help black people in games and make them more relatable for black people. It's the weirdest thing to even think about that this even happened at one point, and I'm sure in the far future, we'll all look back at this time frame and be like, what the hell was anyone thinking when that even worked at any point? But those of you who are familiar with the channel know that I want to give all sides and all perspectives, and especially what the community sentiment is. And I want to be clear, like I've stated multiple times in this video, even though I know people are going to come after me, this does not mean that Square Enix is not woke anymore, okay? I'm being extremely clear about that. But this is a step in the right direction. Gadwin on Twitter said, it changes nothing about the orientation of Square Enix. It's not the first time. They deleted their ESG and DEI pages, but continue their orientation with many influential people who comply with the agenda, and shows some screenshots of employees of Square Enix basically proving the fact that even though they're not on Sweet Baby Inc.'s website anymore, that they still are extremely inclusive, diversive, equitable, and pushing an agenda. And Mick Powers said, that's a big step in the right direction, but the fight isn't over until every one of those companies are crossed off the list. And Wasting Sandy said, they could just be running silent. I will wait till next June to see if Square Enix got their act together a little. This last June, they had a rainbow logo on here and sponsored rainbow events on Twitch. Which, to be honest, is a fair comment to make. Even if you do support that stuff, it literally has nothing at all to do with the video game. And I feel like that's what's gotten lost in all of this. All this support, all this diversity, inclusion, equity, supporting, paying for donations, and all these good causes you want to represent. When at the end of the day, it's always activism and people pushing narratives and agendas. And probably the best one-liner that I saw was from Disgusting, and they said, one cannot preach activism with an empty wallet. Sweet Baby Inc.'s fate now hangs in the balance. While they have a roster of clients that extends far beyond gaming, losing a company as significant as Square Enix may mark the beginning of the end for their influence in the AAA game space. As the industry continues to evolve, I'm definitely going to be watching to see what companies follow Square Enix's lead and how Sweet Baby Inc. meets their ultimate destiny. wherever that may be. Anyways, I'm going to leave it there. If you guys want more information, check out smashjt.com for the full article of Sweet Baby Inc. losing Square Enix as one of their clients. That's a big deal. Even though Square Enix still has their internal DEI departments, it's still a step in the right direction. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you appreciate what I'm doing, hit that join button. And as always, you stay smashing. Smash,